What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. My name is Devin and I hope that you will consider sticking around and subscribing. And if you're not, as always, welcome back. You know I love you. So for today's video, we got another self-tanning video coming at you. So we are going to be talking about this little honey right here. So this is the Coco and Eve Sunny Honey Self-Tanning Foam in the shade Ultra Dark. I'm sorry, it doesn't say self-tanning foam. It says Bali Bronzing Foam. Excuse me. Also, I do want to make sure that I mention that this tan actually was gifted to me by Coco and Eve. They reached out and said that they would love me to test out their tanning foam for you guys. So I was much obliged to say yes. So they did send me this and their tanning mitt and their tanning kabuki brush, which I also use in the application of this tan, so you will see those. Thank you so much to Coco and Eve for sending this to me. This video is not sponsored. I was gifted the products, and Coco and Eve also did set me up with an affiliate link as well. So I will have that link down below in the description if you're interested in purchasing anything from them. Even if it's not tanning products, they have hair and body care as well, which I am really pumped to try because it all looks delicious. But I did want to let you know about that. Full disclosure, I do receive a small commission if you shop through that link. You are in no way, shape, or form obliged to shop through that link. Just know that it does support me and it supports this channel. It just helps me out a little bit and make sure that I have the funds to be able to keep creating beauty content for you guys, which is why we're all here. We have a lot of thoughts to talk about, guys. I'm filming this after I film the rest of this video, so there's lots of juice, lots of good stuff to talk about with this tan. So if you're interested in seeing my first impressions and experience with this tan, let's get right into it. Okay, so first let's just go over the claims on the back of this tan and then we'll move into the application. So I always like to go over the claims just to make sure we're aware of what we're getting into. So on the back it says no streaks, no bad smells, no stress. Unique cell-U-shape formula infused with raw virgin coconuts, botanicals, and amino acids to hydrate and firm the skin. Enriched with Bali-inspired ingredients such as mandarin oil and natural antioxidants, including fig, banana, and papaya, and cocoa to help improve signs of aging. Blurs pigmentation and perfects skin. Tropical Balinese mango and guava scent. Oh, I'm so excited for that. Lightweight, non-sticky formula with a green-gray base for a natural-looking golden glow with no orangey tones. Fast drying and develops in just 2 hours. And then it says this cell-U-shape formula helps to soften the skin and supports younger and firmer looking skin. So it says you can leave it on for only 2 hours. I've learned my lesson with only leaving my tan on for a few hours. It just never gets as dark as I want it to. So I'm definitely gonna leave this on for a minimum of 6 to 8 hours. Honestly, it's like 7 o'clock in the evening when I'm filming this. So I probably will just sleep in this because I'm not sure what 8 hours is from now, but it's probably gonna be past my bedtime, so I probably will just sleep in this and come back in the morning. Okay, so I have already showered, exfoliated, I shaved last night, I applied my thick moisturizing cream to my dry areas, so my feet, my knees, my elbows, my hands. If you are interested in a little bit more of an in-depth explanation of how I prep and maintain my tan, I did talk about it in my Loving Tan Platinum review. I will link that video down below and put a card in this video in case you're interested in watching that. That video is timestamped, so you will be able to just go to the prep section if that's something that you're interested in. I just don't feel like I need to talk about it every time in every video because it'll get repetitive. So I did already do my prep and then I did already do my skincare for the evening. So I have put my beloved Saint Tropez bronzing serum on my face already as well. Okay, now let's just go right in with the application. So I'm gonna put my mitt on, and this one does have like a little thumb. A lot of mitts are just kind of like this rounded part, but it feels nice and snug, and I do kind of like how even this little thing right here feels snug around my wrist, so it doesn't feel like it's gonna slide off, which is nice. And I'm gonna shake up the foam. So I have to tell you guys, I have watched a bunch of videos on this tan. It comes in 3 different shades, medium dark and ultra dark. I do feel like even with the lighter shades than ultra dark, people have been getting some pretty dark results. So I do just want to keep that in mind and kind of tread lightly here. But that being said, I want an ultra dark tan. So I'm excited to see how this goes. But In the videos that I've been watching, I've been like, okay, I shouldn't mess around with this tan. It seems like it's pretty dark. So that was about 2 or 3 pumps. I'm just gonna start off right here on my chest. Oh, it does smell good. It's like a different tropical fruity scent than the Saint Tropez Ashley Graham one, but it definitely is that like nice tropical scent. Okay, yeah, so right off the bat, it does smell really nice, and I can obviously only see it in the viewfinder right now, but it does look pretty dark as well. I feel like we've got a decent little tan line going there. Obviously, this is just for the video because I'm not going to stand here with no shirt on and do this, but obviously I will even this out after we're done chatting here. So I'm just going to get a little bit more for my arms. So I always like to start at the top, up by my shoulders, and I kind of save my elbows and armpits for last because those are some tricky areas. And really anything like, because I really have only been showing like my top half in these videos, but really like what I do for my hands and my elbows and my arms, I do the same thing for my feet and my knees and my legs. And I'm just using long sweeping motions. This mitt is really, really nice, honestly. It feels like it's spreading things out really quickly and evenly. It doesn't feel like it's catching. It doesn't feel like it's gonna come like sliding off my hand when I am going back and forth. It's really, really nice. And then like I said, I avoid my elbows, and once I've kind of done my whole arm and I feel like I've gotten the majority of the product onto my arm, with just the remaining little bit, I kind of lightly go over my elbows because I don't want like a big kind of like light circle around my elbows with no tan, but I also don't want it to overdevelop in that area. And then kind of same thing with my armpit as I'm working under here. Same thing, I'll just kind of take whatever's left on the mitt and just blend so that, you know, I don't have like a bright pale armpit when I lift my arms. Okay, now that we've done our arms, we're just gonna do our hands now. So you probably could put this directly on the brush if you wanted to. I always prefer to just get a little pump on my mitt and then get the brush, because then I feel like that helps me avoid getting too much on the brush at once, because you can just kind of work it in like this instead of just like directly putting like a fresh pump of tan onto your brush and then directly onto your hand, because that's not really what you want, you know? So then I'm just gonna take my kabuki brush and I am just going to lightly buff this into the skin on my hands. I always like to like blend around my wrist here. You want to avoid your palms because your palms can stain pretty badly. I've had that happen to me before. And then I feel like some people say to do this and some don't. I do like to kind of bend my knuckles and get in there. It's just kind of your personal preference. I like to do it to avoid the white spaces, but some people say if you do that, then it makes your knuckles look really dark when your fingers are like flexed like this. So whatever your preference is, I don't really find that that's too much of a problem for me. Okay guys, so initial thoughts right off the bat, I do think it's a really nice kind of golden olive tan color. The depth does look pretty nice as well, so I'm really excited to see how it develops. I don't feel like it's too orange, I don't feel like it's too yellow, I don't feel like it's too green even. Like it definitely has a nice olive color to it, but I don't feel like it leans too far one way or the other. So I'm excited. I do have, you know, mostly positive expectations right now, so we will see. So I'm gonna go apply this to the rest of my body. I'm gonna go about the rest of my night, and I will see you probably tomorrow morning for a check-in once I rinse this off. Okay. Hello friends. It is the next morning. It's about 7:45 a.m. I've not washed this tan off yet, but I do want to check in before I do so. So, as I'm sure you can probably tell by the stark difference between my face and my like neck and chest and the rest of me, honestly, I am very, very, very tan, which I'm not upset about. So now I'm gonna go ahead and jump in the shower, rinse this off, moisturize, do the whole thing, and then I'll come back and check in and let you guys know how well the color stayed through rinsing it off. Like, did the tan actually develop this deep, or is this still the color guide talking? So I'll do one more little check-in, and then that'll be it, and we'll see how the tan goes for the next week. So I'll be right back. All right, you guys, hello, I am back. I was not anticipating going full glam when I sat down to do my makeup for today, but here we are in full glam, so you can really get the full effect of a fresh tan and a fresh face of makeup. To me, there is no better feeling than that. So let's talk about this tan a little bit. I do feel like I still look really nice and bronzed. I am definitely tan. And again, I do feel like this tan is up there with the depth of the Loving Tan Platinum. So I'm really happy to see that. Like, this is definitely ultra dark. But I do feel like the tan does look slightly more natural, a smidge lighter. It's just, again, we've got that color guide off. So we're looking a little bit less crazy now that we rinsed it off, which I'm happy to see. So I do have a little bit of kind of like the white knuckle, I don't know if this is gonna focus, but I do kind of have a little bit of the white knuckle tan effect going on right now. But all in all, I don't think my hands look terrible by any means. All in all, I really am excited to see how this lasts throughout the week. I will say I did not notice any self-tan smell last night. Today I'm smelling it just a little tiny bit. I don't think that it's anything that anybody else would notice. It's not anything that's overpowering. I'm not even noticing it on myself most of the time, but it's just one of those things where every so often I do get a little whiff of it, and I felt like I needed to put on like a little extra deodorant to kind of mask it for today. So we'll see if that lingers or if that's just kind of going to be like a 24-hour thing after the application of the tan. But again, it's nothing crazy. I just can't say that there's like absolutely no smell, because I am smelling it a little bit on myself today. So now all we have left is the test of time. So I'm gonna let this tan go for the next 5 to 7 days and do a check-in at the end and let you guys know how everything went. So I hope everybody has a great week. It's gonna be about a week for me, but I will see you in just a second. All right, my friends, welcome back. It is day 7, and we are going to round up our thoughts on this tan. So if you have watched my tanning videos before, you know that I have 5 different metrics that I rate the tans on, and then we do an overall rating at the end. So first up, we have color of the tan, specifically in terms of depth of the color. This tan was great. Honestly, it was so dark. I really don't feel like it left me wanting it to be any darker. It really was great in one single application, no double coat. Like, when it says ultra dark, it is ultra dark. So in case I haven't hammered that home enough in this video at this point, I absolutely would give this tan a 5 out of 5 for color and depth of color. Just to add a quick caveat to that though, I would not recommend this tan for beginners. I do not think that this is a beginner-friendly tan because it is so dark. So I think that it probably could be a little bit overwhelming, maybe a little intimidating if you are just starting off tanning. This color might freak you out a little bit. If we're being honest. Again, that's if you've never self-tanned before. If you're a self-tan lover like me, I think that you'll really like it. But if not, I would say maybe try this formula out in the dark or the medium, because judging by how dark the ultra dark is, I think you'll probably get a decent color payoff with those as well. It just won't be as intense. So just wanted to add that little bit in there. Moving right into metric number 2, which is lasting time. So I will tell you guys, this tan lasted. I was tan, let's see, so I would have applied this last Friday night, slept in it, washed it off on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. On Wednesday, which is 2 days ago for me at this point, like, I was still very, very tan. Napa, come on. You can't bring this squeaky toy in here. Like, honestly guys, when I say I was tan for 5 days, I was tan for 5 days. Even with showering every day, I was doing my usual thing, showering, putting my lotion on, trying not to scrub at my tan too much in the shower. I really was tan. Now that being said, on Wednesday, on that 5th day, it was that shower where I really did kind of start to see the entire tan. I felt like a whole layer of it just came off, because once I got out of the shower that night, it was a lot lighter. Then yesterday I showered as well and it lightened up even more. But the fact that it lasted the full 5 days, this is the first tan in this tanning series that I've been doing where I felt like I got a full 5 days out of the tan. So as far as lasting time in terms of number of days, I absolutely would give this a 5 out of 5 as well. So starting off strong here, but I do have some criticism coming up, so don't think I'm letting it off the hook yet. All right, so number 3 is patchiness. Now this is where things get a little less than ideal for me. Again, the tan has completely rubbed off at this point, or almost completely rubbed off at this point, so I can't really show you an example because everything has faded. But there were a couple spots where I felt like you could really see the tan kind of catching and fading and going patchy in some areas, if that makes sense. So number 1, where I wear my Fitbit around my wrist, that is definitely, like, I literally had a tan wrist up here, a tan arm down here, and just a stripe right where my Fitbit is. Again, I'm always gonna wear that, and to a certain extent you can't really get past, like, if you're gonna have something tight on your skin basically 24 hours a day, I feel like you can't really get away from the fact that that's just gonna rub and rub and rub and rub at the tan, especially as your skin starts to exfoliate itself. But that being said, it was a pretty obvious patch. Like when I tell you, because again, I said the tan lasted for a full 5 days, right? So when I tell you it was like tan, stripe, tan, like it was. So just, if you wear an Apple Watch, if you wear a Fitbit, if you wear anything tight to the body like that for an extended period of time, just know you're probably gonna have to keep it there, because otherwise you're gonna have a very big patchy tan line. I don't want to give it an awful score for patchiness, because it really was not that bad, but it's not like there was absolutely no patchiness. So I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 for patchiness, because again, like, aside from the area around my Fitbit, it was not terrible by any means, but I definitely did experience some patchiness with this tan. All right, so metric number 4 is gonna be transfer. This is pretty simple, and I feel like pretty standard to what I've been experiencing with all of these tans so far. When I slept in it, yes, I experienced a whole bunch of transfer on my ivory sheets. And I did experience a whole bunch of transfer on my pajamas that I wore to bed that night too. So just something to be aware of. Once I rinsed it off, I have not particularly noticed any transfer on any of the clothes that I've been wearing throughout the week, which is really good. So in terms of transfer, again, I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 5, because while there was a lot of transfer, just for that one night that the tan was marinating into my skin, for the rest of the week, there wasn't really any transfer to worry about. It's just, you know, during the actual tan development process. So last but not least, we do have self-tan smell. Again, this is something that I think I touched a little bit on when I first washed off the tan. Just to recap, I didn't experience really any of that self-tan smell when I was applying it, because the mousse has a really nice, like, tropical fruity fragrance to it when you're putting it on, so that's good. But that being said, the next day when I did wash it off, so all day last Saturday, I was experiencing just like a slight little bit of that self-tan smell. So it's nothing that I was super concerned that anybody else would really notice or smell on me, but I definitely did notice something. So I'm just saying that because I can't give it a 5 out of 5, because it's not like there was zero smell. There was a little bit, but it really only lasted for like that one day when the tan was freshly washed off. And then after that kind of like second shower, after you rinse the tan off, like the next shower you take, I feel like the smell is gone. So again, 4 out of 5 for smell, because it really wasn't that bad, but there wasn't zero. It wasn't perfect. All right, you guys, so if you are doing the math along with me, that brings us to an overall score of a 4.5 out of 5 for this tan, which I think is pretty good. I love the color of this tan. I love how long it lasted on my skin. The other stuff I can kind of deal with a little bit, to be honest with you, but I just felt like I couldn't give them a perfect score because those specific metrics weren't perfect. However, is this my favorite tan that I've tried so far? I might venture out to say yes. honestly. I very much might venture out to say yes on that. I am really excited to continue using it and hopefully continue having a good experience with it. All right, you guys, with all that being said, if you are still here, if you are not tired of the sound of my voice yet, thank you. Thank you for being here. But we are at the end of the video finally. So if you enjoy videos like this, if you enjoyed this video, if you like self-tanning videos, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and give me a thumbs up down below because it does help me out in the YouTube algorithm. I don't know why I'm like singing a song right now, but that's okay. If you're not following me on Instagram, you can do that as well. I am at DevDevGregs over there. And with that, I will catch you in my next one. Mwah. Love you. Bye.